tell me when we're good because it's different with me,
Yes.
remember?
Meeting is live streamed. It's now on Facebook. Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So it's Friday. Here we are, the Fit Girls, doing our thing. We're just saying we hope everyone had a very great week, feeling a little accomplished in something, right? I hope so. And
Right on.
Today we want to, so my name is Kelly Tyan. If we haven't met yet, I have been in the fitness industry, health industry since 2008 as a leader in leading women into their health and overall fitness and mindset, and met these women back in the day. So let's just do a quick intro. Kate, who are you?
Well, right on. Hey, I'm Kate McKay, high performance coach. I'm a lover of all things fun and deep and powerful. And I'm super excited to be with the two of you as we jam and inspire, encourage, challenge anyone that's tuning in. So much love to you two women and much love to the community.
Yes.
I'm Linda Mitchell, and I've been doing fitness since I was 21, soon to be 60 in September. Keeps you young and healthy and vibrant. And
Yes.
I'm in my gym right now. I apologize in advance because nobody is actually in the gym right now, but somebody overhead is making thunder and lightning noises. So
Okay.
if you hear anything, just know it's out of my control.
Okay. It's out of your control. Some things are just out of our control. So today we want to talk about courage. I think that's a great word because, wait, do we have background noise? Oh no, are you hearing
You have
me?
you have to turn your Facebook off.
I don't have.
Me.
It's your Facebook reverberating into
This
the
is
room.
me. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So I'm just not going to be able to see anything that's going on, but we're just going to.
You're not. That's what happens. You have to.
Yeah.
I'll teach you. I'll show you later how to make that not happen. That's what happens.
It's still going.
I'll show you later how to.
Hold on a second. We did this last time, so here I'm good. All right, let's go.
Okay. So, okay, that's better. Well, we just want to talk to you guys today about courage because everything in life takes courage, especially our health, our mindset. We have to have courage, and working on that gives us confidence, right? Don't you guys think courage and confidence go hand in hand? People say,
Yeah,
I'm not
100%.
confident, so it does. And being brave goes along with these words as well, because sometimes we don't feel brave to follow through what we want to follow through with because we don't have the courage. This all ties in, and then we don't have the confidence. But before we went live, I was talking to Kate about her following through and finishing some major things. And we all set out to have these great goals. I want to eat clean. I want to lose 10 pounds. Summer's coming. Yet we start, we stop, we start, we stop. And I think it all comes down to we don't give ourselves enough credit or courage to keep going. One bad slip and then we stop and we never finish. So that's what we're here to just empower you with today, because we've all slipped. We've all went backwards. We're not perfect, but I think working on building our own courage, and you have to think about these things to actually work on them. I think that's just really what we want to give you guys some tips on things we do. So why don't you take it away, Kate, because you just worked on some really big things.
Yeah.
You have a lot of courage to finish what you started.
Well, the reason why I'm so passionate about courage is because it's actually one of the high performing habits, right? Now, courage isn't just like you're going out and you're slaying dragons, right? Or just talking about diet and exercise, or what. Courage is about showing up and living authentically and speaking your truth. Oh, my heavens to Betsy. How many of us think we're doing that, but we're really not? Are we really having these honest conversations with people in our intimate life when people are crossing our boundaries and not validating us? Example number one, right? Not self-honoring by fueling ourselves with ways that honor our body, our mind, and our spirit, right? And it's not just about slaying, and it's also moving into the fear, knowing fear is inevitable. but also knowing that you're called here in your divine assignment. I believe it's a vertical relationship. My relationship with God is driving me. So it makes discerning what's okay and not okay for me really easy. Am I doing the thing that I'm called here to do? Am I living enthusiastically with courage and enthusiasm? That is my it statement. This is how I live my life. So was I always that way? Oh, hell no. Shaking in my boots. You know, my personality is too big. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. I mean, you guys know this. This is all the same things that we've all talked about intimately, the three of us, right? Linda, how do you define it, girl? What's courage to you?
Well, I'll just give you a little simple story that just happened yesterday. So my business coach, Kathy Savage, is having us do our reels. And she wanted me to, I do podcasting, the Sisterhood of Sweat, and I usually just highlight my guests, never myself. And she said, I want you stepping out more, and I want to see reels with you talking, and I want to see more of those. And I was just it was so awkward. It was so weird for me to look into the camera and talk to myself. I was just like, I usually don't even turn the camera up on my solo round on Friday. You don't see me, you just hear me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to be visible. I've got to be talking, and I'm talking to me. But I had to not look at the camera and just talk to the audience and just like, not, because it was so distracting to me to be looking at myself talking. So, but it was awkward, right? And you feel weird, and and it's not in your comfort zone. So you have to get the courage to do something where you feel kind of awkward and kind of stupid and like, what am I doing? And do it, right? So I did it once, then I did it again. And then on this time, my lady put out the reel, and I watched it back, and I felt proud.
Yes.
I felt proud. I felt confident. I felt over that awkward, uncomfortable feeling. And so I think it's like that with most things that we're just not used to. We're maybe a little afraid of putting ourselves out there by ourselves, and so getting through that. But see, what comes on the other side of the fear is having the courage, like you said, Kelly, brings the confidence. And then what did it do? I got a ton of hits on my reel. And then I was like, oh, I got a ton of hits on my podcast. And it made me realize all the other things she was saying that I need to do. I probably need to do.
It's so true. When you step out of your comfort zone and do the thing that's deep in your heart, you're called to do, you know that you want to do this thing. You want to be more successful, Linda. So you're doing your reels to get more visibility, right? Yes, it's uncomfortable doing that stuff. But like you said, when you step out and do that little baby, take that baby step and do it, you're building a little bit of confidence. And then it gives you the strength to want to do it again and see how much further can I go. It's such a great feeling when we step out of the comfort zone. It's like when I was writing my book, I kept, pushing back. Then I'd write. Then I would, I'm scared. I don't know if I should be doing this. Oh my gosh. Like, it was scary. You're putting yourself out there. But every time I wrote a story and I went back and read one of my stories in my book, it was like, I couldn't wait to write the next one. And I kept building my confidence in that way. Right. And then publishing the book. It's like, it will all come together if you keep chipping away at that. But you have to take the steps. So you doing the reels, it's amazing what happens when we step out in courage, right?
And it can be scary. It can be scary to put yourself out there in the internet doing these reels.
Yes.
I think I even danced in one. But what I saw at the end of all that was then when I put other things out, they were getting like 3,000-4,000 hits. And I'm like, oh, that's how the algorithm works.
It's crazy what comes out of this stuff when you have courage.
Right. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Linda, congratulations. And
Yes.
I love, Kelly, what you said too about the whole, if you're acting with boldness, right?
Mhm.
There's some boldness in it, and man, shaking knees, teeth
Mhm.
clattering, like the whole thing, right? But the
Right.
more you do something, the
Right.
greater your confidence becomes, because
Yep.
competency and confidence are a direct loop. It's actually
Mhm.
in psychology is a term.
Right.
It's like the confidence competency loop. So the more you practice something, the greater your confidence is going to be, which gives
Mhm.
you more courage to take more bold, right action. And
Right.
and like what Linda was just shared, it's like we're scared, but we stand out, and then people notice. So what I want to say to any of you that are listening is that there are people that are watching you, and they're watching your next move, right? And that's a scary thing too. So, but know that if you know you're convinced that you're here to make some form of impact, then you know you're just going to take that one right action. And you know
Mhm.
what? We're here cheering you on for sure.
But it's even, we're the Fit Sisters. So I have to bring fitness into this for a minute. It's even, I deal with a lot of clients, I work with women only. So they're afraid to step into the gym, for an example, and try a workout. They don't have the courage because they don't know what they're doing. Yet when I watch them and I give them instruction and then they do it once, they're like, oh, it wasn't so bad.
Oh, it's
It's like
empowering.
it's empowering. So
Mm.
anyone listening that's, wants to get fit and healthy and start working out, but they're afraid, you have to just be bold. I love that word. And just know that you're doing this for you no matter what. You're not going to look perfect. We're not supposed to look perfect, but just take the step, have the courage, and find it within yourself. Nobody else is going to, put courage into your system. You have to have that. You have to develop that yourself. But it takes taking steps, right? We work
Yeah.
on that stuff at
Yeah,
all
it's-
times.
when I was to compete, and oftentimes too, even when I'm speaking and like in an event, because I had like a webinar this week and I also had 2 interviews. And so when we hear ourselves stumbling, we think, oh my gosh. I remember one time I was posing, like getting ready for a show, and I'm like doing my thing, like the book, and then like I twisted, I'm wearing these heels. And I was like, oh my God, that was so awful. And then I went and played the video back. Couldn't even tell. Here I am thinking that this is the massivest, like I looked horrible. And you couldn't even see the wobble, you guys. So for me, it was like high performance coach, Katie, like you, and I couldn't even see it. So this is just an example of something that we think we misspeak or stumble or do something.
Right.
And oftentimes it's so small that we can't, it's infinitesimal. And people expect us to nothing is perfect, right? We're perfectly imperfect. Our bodies are perfectly imperfect. Our spirits, every part of us is perfectly imperfect, but it still requires some standing in and taking bold, right action. And right on, let's do it together.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's so funny that you're mentioning that, because I can just attest to what you're saying. It's like that mistake, it becomes hyper focused in your mind, like in your mind, oh, that was awful. That was an awful podcast. That was terrible. Ooh, I have a vulnerability hangover. I just shared that with all these people. And you're like magnifying it in your mind. And then you go back and you listen to it and you're like, oh, that was fine. It really wasn't that bad.
Totally.
And so I think we do that with so many things. And I think when we are stuck in our heads and we're stuck in our fear, it really is you believing something that isn't even true. It's this fear. And so all of us feel afraid before we do something big, but it's just having the courage, thinking about what you want on the other side of that, and pushing through that fear, no matter how real and up in your face it is. I just remember at my grand opening, I asked Kate, I asked Dr. Lori Shemmick, I asked people to come to my grand opening, but what I was really dodging was speaking myself. Though I had been feeling called to speak, I was scared to death of public speaking. Are you kidding me? I'm like, God, are you sure? Is this you or is this me? Like, I was just like but I was terrified to do it, terrified. But when people then couldn't make it, and then it was like left and right, I thought, oh, like I'm gonna just have to show up. I'm gonna have to show up and do it. And I'm gonna jump into the pool with both feet and all, afraid, in front of my family, friends, and strangers. And I'm gonna tell my story. But I kept trying to dodge it. I wanted to talk about yoga or greens or anything, but you know, my truth and my story. And once I did it, once I jumped into the pool fully, it was so freeing. I haven't been afraid since. And I had people crying in the audience. I had people coming up to me saying, you should never, ever be afraid to speak. And I overcame that fear, that stage fright that I'd had around public speaking. So I don't know what it is for you or you, Kelly, or you, Kate, but I just know that it has always been a benefit, and it always provides you confidence once you leap through that fire of fear.
It's
Love
so
that.
empowering, just like you said, it really is. And I think I love that you said about what I do is I try to have a vision of what it looks like when you get to the other side. So for me, I'm just going to use this one quick example. Again, it's my book, because I just remember when I was writing my book, being fearful about who's going to buy it. Oh my gosh, is anyone even going to read this thing? But I kept I really did this. I kept visualizing myself at a book signing. Like, I'm going to be signing my book. Like, I can't wait. And it would put a smile on my face. Like, even if one person shows up, I can see myself. I kept saying that, like, I can see myself signing my books and handing them to people. And I kept visualizing that. So if any of you listening have something, a goal or something they're going after, and you're afraid and fear keeps stopping you, maybe create a vision in your head of what it looks like to complete it. Like, have a strong vision of that and think about it all the time. Write it down, journal about it. How is it going to look if I lose 15 pounds before the summer? How is it going to be if I run 1 mile and I'm proud of myself? How is it going to be, like, you have to visualize yourself, right? Do you guys agree with that? Because do you do that actually, Kate and Linda?
Well, I think that
Yes.
I absolutely do that. But another piece of it that I do is, who am I here to impact? When I go and compete in a bikini, I'm thinking, who are all those women out there in this audience? And I have a client in particular that was either abused, is full of self-hatred, self-loathing. And I'm like, I am here to stand in for that woman.
Yes.
And that makes me fearless. I am like so courageous. Right?
You are so good at that.
Yeah, we have to infuse meaning. And who are we here to impact? Because like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm a nerd, you guys. I am such a nerd. 1943, he wrote that. The highest form of that was self-actualization. Basically like Buddha, like I'm awake. We are beyond that. We are here to contribute. We're here to apply meaning to our lives. And it's not enough just to be like, do it for us. Yes, it's important to do it for us because we want a strong body so we can move through this world to have greater impact, to do the thing to which we came here to do, right?
Yes.
That's my pitch. That's my nerd pitch.
You taught me that when you were, we were talking about my book, when I wrote my book, because you were such a catalyst. And Kate wrote the foreword to my book, The Sisterhood of Sweat. And you were saying to me things like, there are people waiting on you to step into your truth. And it's just so true. So many people that you would be helping if you just got out of your own way and stepped out in faith today and just got through the fear part, because you're going to look back at that fear and be like, that was so silly. Look at what all I'm doing now. And I was afraid of what? And like when I did that reel, one of my dear friends who I admire sends me a message through Instagram and lets me know. She's like, thank you so much for stepping out unapologetically and just being yourself, because you gave me permission to do me, to step out and be me boldly. So that I didn't realize I was going to inspire somebody.
Amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. So
Great
how can we
story, man.
wrap this up?
Yeah, just stay in bold, right action. We're here to support you. You
Yep.
know, Linda, what do you got going on right now that you want to share before we wrap up? Anything last minute that you're talking about, wanting some support around?
That I'm talking about and what?
That you want support around?
Oh, support. Oh,
Or if there's something that
okay.
you're selling or serving in new and
Oh,
different
just
ways.
support around well wishes for this almost 60-year-old grandmother that is going to be on the front cover and back cover of a magazine in June. I'm going to be shooting for it.
Woo! So exciting.
So just confidence and courage, and also to keep pushing on, because like there'll be times where you're like, oh, I really probably shouldn't have ate that.
Right.
And then you think, oh gosh, I blew it forever. How am I ever going to do that? And then you realize, no, I didn't blow that forever. And I'm going to get back up. And this is about my story, first of all, and about how I came through the fire and rose above what happened to me in my life. And this is a story for other women, and it's only a picture on the cover, but it's about the story inside.
So true.
That is
Love that.
amazing. I'm right there with you, Linda, because I just did a magazine article. I was interviewed this week for a magazine, Boston in LA, and it's a pretty good, decent magazine. And so it's my story. It's like you, it's like sharing. So my whole brand is called Addicted to the Climb, and it's about the climb, how life is a climb, and we have to keep climbing no matter what we face, no matter what we're going through. Have the courage to keep climbing. So I'm excited so both of us have a big, I think, when is your magazine coming out? In May?
So shooting in June, and then I'm not sure the exact date yet that it's coming out. But I'm just very excited that the person writing the story was the editor of Oxygen magazine. So I'm pretty excited, just because, you know what? It showed up once I had my why. Why did I want to do that thing? Once I understood why I wanted it, then it showed up.
Amazing. Kate, what do you have going on?
So much. I have a new 5-day masterclass called Hack Your Brain for a Better Body, because I'm such a nerd into the neuroscience, but it's really comprehensive, just super easy to apply 5-day program that's available. And you can see that on my website, kate-mckay.com. And my passion project, which is my book, May 24th is the release date, called Claim Your Inner Warrior. The book is especially for men. I'm honored to have put my son, who I lost in 2017, on the cover. And man, I just want to cry just even saying it, but it's going to the formatter today. So I appreciate your support as I bring this book and this message to the world. So thank you so much.
Yes. Well, thank you
awesome.
everyone for tuning in. If we can answer any questions, let us know. Reach out to us separately, DM us. We're here to serve, to impact and empower, and just help you find your courage through us, because we've all walked in the same shoes. We've all been in your shoes. So we're all in this together. Thanks for coming today. And thank you, ladies, for being on my team.
Always fun to see you guys. And if you guys have any questions or whatever resonated with you, whatever you'd like to hear more of, please just let us know in the comments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let us know. We're here for you and championing you forward. And we'll be back in 2 weeks for another episode.
Yes.
Can't wait. Fit Girls Who Dish. So thank you so much. Much love to everybody. And
bye,
have
guys.
a great weekend.
Have a happy weekend.
Ciao. Bye. Shut it off.
I'm running. I'm going. I got lacrosse.
Okay, ciao. Bye.
Bye-bye.